Well, hello dear listener, I hope you are having a fantastic weekend, if it so happens to be the weekend when you are listening to this video. I know that it will be the weekend when it goes live, but that doesn't mean much for the world of always available video content. So thank you for clicking on my video. I hope you enjoy my narrations. If you do, consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. I would love to hear from you. That said, this video is a little different from my other ones. Again, this one is loaded with 4 short, scary stories from the subreddit of the same name. These 4 stories to me are absolutely fantastic, and I hope you enjoy them as well. That said, I will no longer delay the start of this video, so please prepare yourself for 4 short, scary stories. Enjoy. Story 1. There's nothing better than a bed beneath a window. I like having my bed beneath my window. No curtains or anything, just the window. I can sleep to the sound of raindrops, wake up with the sunlight, and easily jump out of my room to get to the balcony without having to open the door. In some occasions, I leave it open so the wind enters my bedroom, but when it gets too cold, I just slide it down and get under my blankets. Streaky, my cat, usually follows me, and we spend the evenings sitting on the balcony and watching the big tree in front of my house. Now, sometimes he likes to sleep outside, and he'll scratch the window for me to let him in. Then he can jump right onto my bed and cuddle, so he's all comfy and happy. I love being with him. Loud scratches woke me up tonight, but then they stopped. I was about to turn back to let Streaky enter, but oh, there he is. He's already right at my feet. The light from the moonlight is enough for me to figure out it's his silhouette. He must have managed to come inside. He sure looks fat. I really need to get him some exercise. I just closed my eyes. Streaky came near my chest and laid there. Now I've got to admit that his claws were hurting me a little bit, and that his fur was rough, but I'm not a bad owner or anything. He just needs a little trip to the pet salon. I usually don't let him sleep on top of me, but I was just so sleepy that I didn't care. He licked my face, and it surprised me, the smoothness of it. I just giggled and kept on sleeping. Streaky was grateful. I woke up without Streaky on my bed, but I decided to look for him after I was ready for school so I could give him a kiss goodbye. Is that Streaky? Yikes, that window is really dirty. I got my window cleaner and jumped out to the balcony to hug him. He was softer than the night before. Oh, silly cat, did Mom already bathe you and let you go back outside? I kissed Streaky's forehead, to which he adorably purred, and then I got near the window to clean it. Oh, the glass does make things look distorted because my handprint doesn't even look that human-like. Well, there's always something new to discover, but I love having my bed beneath my window. Story 2. My father loved thunderstorms. My father loved thunderstorms. He loved the lightning that would flash across the sky, and he loved the thunder that came after even more. He loved the few seconds where it was so loud that nothing else could be heard. I hated thunderstorms. I hated what they brought with them. I hated the things he loved about thunder. I hated every single second of them. In those few little seconds, he could do whatever he wanted to, because no one would hear it. No one would hear my mother's crying. No one would hear my agonizing screams of pain. No one would hear it. The night where I finally thought it was enough was a stormy night. Perfect, I thought. Before he crept into my room that night, I was already waiting for him. I was standing perfectly still. I watched him enter my room, and I watched him get angry when I wasn't there. When his back faced me, I decided it was time to strike. I ran at him and swung the knife I had stolen from the kitchen as hard as I could. I got him right in the head. My father loved thunderstorms until the night he died. Story 3. Regrets. What was the last thing that you regret doing? Maybe you let someone eat something that belonged to you. It was supposed to be yours, and you were supposed to be the one to have it. But then someone walked along and ruined it for you with one selfish bite. I know how it feels. Maybe you failed to fix your mistakes. You watched over the results of something you'd done slowly grow worse and worse, and you finally decided that you had to fix it for yourself. And then you tried to fix it, but the mistakes came back. The problems came back. It all came back to torment you for another eternity. I know how it feels. Maybe you created someone who would grow to despise you. It could have been an accident, or it could have been on purpose, but you eventually created your very own offspring, and yet they were ungrateful for everything you've done for them. And yet they ruined your hard work to replace it with trash, and you wish that you could have prevented it when you had the chance. I know how it feels. I know how it feels to regret something. I've been watching you all ever since the beginning, and I regret deciding it was all a good idea. I've watched you all neglect, enslave, even kill your own species just to satisfy yourselves. I've watched you destroy your home and yet deny that it's your fault for years. I've watched you ignore your purpose, ignore what you were destined to do, and ignore the fact that you are the ones who were supposed to make it all better. I regret creating it all. I regret letting in the light, and I regret staying in heaven because I too fear what I have created. Story 4. I think I have a stalker. Do you ever feel like somebody is watching you? Because I do. All the time. It's quite annoying, actually. I wake up, I feel watched. I leave and get in my car. I feel watched. I go to work, I feel watched. I come home, I feel watched. There is not a single second of the day that I don't feel watched. In the back of my mind, I always wonder if it's just my paranoia, or if somebody is actually stalking me. It's been 3 weeks now, and I really don't feel safe. I've bought 2 deadbolts and installed them, along with my regular locks, and I still don't feel safe. Sometimes I black out, and that scares me. I'll wake up in a different place than I originally was, in a different outfit with no recollection of what happened. The hours would fly by with no acknowledgement. It would be 1 p.m., I would black out and wake up at 5 p.m. What happened in that blackout state? So much can happen within 4 hours. Isn't that nerve-wracking? Not knowing what you're doing for 4 whole hours, and then just waking up to feel a bit disoriented? Well, today, I blacked out for a few hours. I woke up at my desk with a note sitting in front of me. My hand was grasping the pen. The note read, "I know you see me. I'm watching you, always." Why would I write that? I'm the one being watched. Or at least I think I am? Maybe it's just my subconscious letting out my paranoia. The next day, the note disappeared. I don't know where it went. It's been 3 days, and I still feel intense eyes on me everywhere I go. I blacked out again today, and when I came to, I was on a street that felt strangely familiar. I was apparently hiding behind a bush that was right below a window. It was nighttime, maybe 10 p.m. I looked up. The note that went missing was taped against the window. Whose house was this, and why did it feel faintly familiar? That's when I started to realize that maybe I'm not the person being watched, but the person watching people. Is this where I go when I black out? Have I taken things any further? Have I hurt anyone? The paranoia that I've been experiencing has just been my blackened out memories. It hit me. I don't have a stalker. I am a stalker. Well, hello again, dear reader, at the end of another narration video. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed those stories. There are plenty more to come. Trust me. Just trust me, please. I need somebody to trust me. Just please trust me. I will pay you $1 if you trust me. I will bake you cookies. Anyway, so that was 4 short, scary stories from Reddit. All stories are sourced in the video description as always. And I hope you enjoyed. Please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving me a comment. I would love to hear from you. That said, until the next video, sleep well.